Okay, so finding low page title competition keywords. And this is probably one of the main things I like to look at when I'm looking at the long tail keywords is the page title competition. So actually there's a few different things I like to look at here. And Longtail Pro makes it nice and convenient. It brings up a lot of these things that we should be looking at. So let's just take one of these for example here. Pick one out here. How about Mm, let's jump to, is aloe vera juice good for you? Let's just look at this one. Okay, so as we can see, we've got local searches 480. That's a good number I like to look for. Anything around 500 is good. Uh, okay, so one of the great things about this program is you can click on this. What it does is opens up nice and conveniently for you. It's running a little slow. Okay, there we go. It lists out nicely the top 10 sites that are ranking on page one in Google in the search results. And this is important because obviously this is your target destination. This is where you want your keyword to get to. All right, ideally you'd like to have your keyword in the top three. You'd want your website to show up here in the top three results for your keyword phrase. All right, this is where you're going to get the most click-throughs, the most clicks to your website. The further down you get, the less clicks you're going to get. Not to say you won't get any, because there's some strategy involved. If you're like down here, maybe at 6 or 7 or 8, you can still get clicks, but you're going to have to get really creative, maybe with your title or your description. I suggest getting creative no matter where you are, even if you're a top one, getting creative with your title, but get extra creative if you can down here. If you're down here, then you'll hopefully get a little more clicks. But definitely the most clicks come when you're in the top three. This is where you're the most visible. Okay, so once you're off page one and you're maybe on page 2 or page 3, you're pretty much invisible back there. No, you're not going to get very many clicks back there, if any. So definitely shoot for the top 3 if you can. And what I'm looking at is basically, uh, the developer of this program, he has a tutorial that runs through basically what all this stuff is and what he likes to look for his keyword phrases. So if you pick up a trial version, I suggest checking out his tutorials. He goes into more in-depth stuff into all these features, but he mentions that the juice links here is one of the more important things he likes to look at, as well as page authority. And he has a certain number that he likes to look at. I think it's like a below 20. He usually likes to look for sites that have below 20 page authority and then very low juice links. So page links, this is all the links, the backlinks the site's getting, but it only really matters. The juice links are what really matters. These are the links that are actually, giving the site juice and actually, that actually have some sort of power. So definitely look at juice links and not page links, and then page authority too. For me, it's like with these very low page title competition or low competition keyword phrases, what I like to look for mainly is again page title competition, and then I like to see what's on page one, like who's actually targeting this particular keyword phrase. Okay, so you can tell who's actually targeting it because if it's actually in their title, the whole keyword phrase. Let's just jump out of this really quick and go to Google. It might be a little easier to look at. So let's just say, for example, we're looking at what's our keyword phrase again? Let's see. Is aloe vera juice good for you? So I'm just going to take this, copy it, jump over back to Google, paste it in here. And here's our top 10 sites. Okay, so we're looking at, it should be exactly the same as this. So let's look for this. Why is everyone suddenly drinking aloe vera juice? Why is everyone suddenly drinking aloe vera juice? So exactly. So here's the top 10 sites. So what I look for when I'm looking for competition, I'm looking for our exact keyword phrase. Is aloe vera juice good for you? Looking for it in the title. How many sites on page one have this exact phrase in the page title? Is everyone suddenly drinking aloe vera juice? Nope, that's not the exact. It's related, but it's not the exact phrase. That's a good sign. To me, that's a very good sign because it means that this site isn't specifically targeting this phrase, which means that if we are targeting this specific phrase in an article, we stand a better chance of outranking this particular site because we will be more related to this actual keyword phrase specifically. I don't see any articles here with this exact article keyword phrase. So that's a very good sign. So this is what I look for more. When it comes to these very low competition keywords, I look for this more than these stats here. Because no matter what these stats are, I know I can outrank them because they're not actually targeting that phrase, and I'm going to be targeting it. That's not always the case, but in this case, when we're talking about super, super, super low competition keyword phrases, then I really just don't bother with these stats. I look more at page title competition, and I look at who's actually targeting the phrase. So I'm pretty confident. One other thing I'm going to do is check the page title competition. And how we do that is we go to Google, the search here, type in all in title with no spaces. Okay, just like this. And then go ahead and type in your keyword phrase right here, just like this. Okay, go ahead and hit enter. And then you want to see how many results it gives you. 70 results. It's below 100. That is very, very, very good. Okay. This means this exact keyword phrase shows up in 70 sites all across the internet, throughout the whole internet. And that's very, very good. My odds of ranking for this keyword phrase on page 1 is very good because only 70 sites throughout the whole internet is using this specific keyword phrase. So if I create a very good article around this specific keyword phrase, a nice engaging article that Google likes, and I optimize that article for the phrase, optimize my titles, my descriptions for the phrase, I stand a good chance of popping up here on page 1 without doing a single backlink. Okay, so this is the type of long tail keyword phrase I'll definitely target. And this is what I mean by page title. We want to look for about 70, not 70, but usually I look for about 1,000 or less for this result. Okay, the higher the results you're getting, the more your keyword phrase is showing up in sites, which means obviously the higher the number is, the more you're going to have to compete with other sites. And not to say that I've seen these results get up to like 1,000 and still able to rank page 1 without backlinks. I could just show you an example. Tom. Here's just one example. TomTom versus Garmin keyword phrase. This site here, which belongs to a client, is ranking page 1 for this specific phrase, and this site hasn't had any backlinks whatsoever. Okay, and it's ranking for all different variations for the versus variations, which means that you can type this in a lot of different ways. As you can see, we have TomTom versus Garmin. We could reverse that, Garmin versus TomTom. There he is, same spot. We could say, instead of VS, we could say versus. There he is. So if we were to type in this specific keyword phrase and the all-in title, we'll see how many times this phrase is showing up. 392. Okay, so that number shows that he's able to rank with on page 1 with no backlinks with 392 search results. Okay, let's look at hmm, I know there's a higher number there, but anyway, it's good to keep it. If you're looking to rank on page one without having to do backlinking work, definitely want to keep it below 1,000. Just keep that in mind. And of course, the lower the better. Even if you can get below 500, that's better. And of course, below 100, like our keyword we just picked, is even better. Okay, so looking at these sort of things, this comes into handy when we're looking at, we start looking at the higher competition type of keywords. And I'll show you a couple examples of that in some of the following lectures.